Zara's fingers danced across the grimy interface, coaxing life into the ancient hardware. The basement lab hummed with the whir of cooling fans and the soft beep of medical equipment. She glanced at the figure strapped to the chair beside her, a gaunt man with hollow eyes and track marks dotting his arms. "You sure about this?" Zara asked, not looking up from her work. The man, Jamie, nodded weakly. Just do it." Zara sighed, inserting a needle into Jamie's arm. As the pale blue liquid drained from the syringe, Jamie's eyes rolled back, his body going rigid. "Initiating extraction," Zara muttered, more to herself than her unconscious client. Outside, the constant drone of traffic mingled with distant sirens. Another night in Neo-Vancouver, where empathy had become the most valuable currency. As Jamie's memories flowed into the system, Zara's comlink chirped. "Z, we've got a situation." Lex's voice crackled through. "Feds raided the East Side hub. Dante didn't make it out." Zara's stomach dropped. Dante had been their best extractor, and more importantly, a friend. "Shit," she hissed. "What about the stock? Gone. They got everything." The implications hit her like a punch to the gut. Without their empathy stock, they couldn't fulfill orders, and in this business, unfulfilled orders meant dead clients. "I'm almost done here," Zara said, watching Jamie's vitals. "Meet me at the Neon Lotus in an hour." She terminated the call and focused on the extraction. The screen flickered with fragments of Jamie's memories, flashes of joy, love, and heart-wrenching sorrow, each emotion carefully catalogued and stored. When it was done, Zara disconnected Jamie and administered the revival cocktail. His eyes fluttered open, vacant and glassy. "How do you feel?" she asked, helping him sit up. Jamie blinked slowly. "Empty," he mumbled. "But lighter." Zara nodded, handing him a small credit chit. "This should cover your next few meals and a bed at the hostel. Remember, no stims for at least 48 hours. As Jamie stumbled out, Zara began packing up the equipment. The extracted empathy, raw human emotion in digital form was their lifeline in a world gone numb. An hour later, Zara slipped into a booth at the Neon Lotus, a seedy bar on the fringes of the corporate sector. Lex was already there, his cybernetic eyes scanning the room nervously. "We're fucked, Z," he said as soon as she sat down. "Without Dante's connections, we can't replenish our stock, and you know what happens when the corp types don't get their fix." Zara did know. She'd seen the aftermath of empathy withdrawal executives and politicians driven to madness, unable to feel or connect. It wasn't pretty. "We've got one option," Zara said, lowering her voice. "The Wellspring." Lex's good eye widened. "You can't be serious. That place is a myth. It's real. Dante told me before." She trailed off. "He said it's a hidden community, off the grid. People there still feel naturally, without chemical or digital assistance. Even if it exists, how do we find it?" Zara pulled out a small data chip. "Dante gave me this. Said it's a map, but it'll only activate for someone with residual empathy." Lex stared at the chip. "You mean someone who hasn't been completely drained? Someone like me," Zara finished. She hadn't told anyone, not even Lex, that she'd never fully extracted her own emotions. It was too dangerous in their line of work. "It's suicide," Lex hissed. "If the Corps find out you're holding out, they'll dissect you for every last drop." Zara knew he was right, but she also knew they were out of options. "We don't have a choice. Our clients will start dropping like flies in a few days. We need to find the Wellspring." Lex was quiet for a long moment. Finally, he nodded. "All right, but we do this smart. We'll need supplies, weapons." As they began to plan, Zara felt a flutter of something in her chest. Fear? Excitement? She wasn't sure. Emotions were hazy things these days, even for her. Outside the bar, the neon-soaked streets pulsed with artificial life. Core and addicts alike chased the next hit of synthetic feeling, unaware that the source was running dry. Zara knew their chances were slim. The Wellspring might not even exist, and if it did, there was no guarantee they'd make it there alive, let alone be welcomed. But as she looked at Lex, saw the determination in his eyes, she felt something else. A faint warmth, a connection she thought she'd lost long ago. It was hope, fragile and dangerous, but real. And in that moment, Zara understood why empathy was so valuable, why people would kill for it, die for it, because without it, they were already dead.